What's going on, guys? I'm Dobry and this is Fallout 4. Oh boy, Happy New Year to everyone who plays it, or not to everyone who wants to watch this video. And wow, I'm close to 400 hours in on this game, guys, and this game never ceases to amaze me and produce even more waves of excitement and even more fun.
You're with the Minutemen, right?
Yes, I am with the Minutemen.
No one sent me, but the Minutemen are always here to help.
A pack
Oh,
of
so let's
feral
see
ghouls has
what
wandered
you
in
want.
nearby.
Oh, okay.
Not a problem. Those ghouls are as good as gone.
It'll be good not to have to keep an eye.
Very well. Kill the Gurs in the Super Duper mod. I might do it later on just to have some fun with the game. So, well, what do we see here? It's our settlement, and as you saw, I have my full set of T60 power armor. Now, I'll give you some history about this build, guys. We are going to talk builds here in this video, and if you saw the name of the video, you already know what kind of build are we going to talk about. We are going to make a Jim Raynor build in Fallout 4. So I was going to give you some history first. So I have been trying all kinds of playthroughs with snipers, with sneaking, with pistols, with machine guns, and so on and so forth, and all of them are different, all of them are amazing, and I have been doing some Starcraft 2 on and off when I'm not playing the Fallout 4, and I started playing the whole campaign in Starcraft 2 pretty much since Wings of Liberty, and I was like, whoa, wait a second, my power armor build, which is actually the last one that I made because I was keenly aware that power armor is overpowered, and it is true. It actually kind of sort of looks like Jim Raynor, the way that he is actually made in Starcraft 2, with a marine suit, with heavy guns, or at least machine guns. It's up to you to decide which one is more canon. I couldn't quite decide, so I went with heavy guns. A cool suit and so on and so forth. And later on that day, I was looking over Nexus for various stuff and mods, and just I had the vanilla game up until that point, and as I was looking around the mods, I saw on one of the pages Kerrigan's bodysuit, and I was like, what? I can make a Kerrigan in Fallout 4? I'm all for it, because at that point, it really dawned on me that I also had a sniper, which also had a red hair, and was great dead shot, and was popping melons just for funsies. And I was like, wait 1 second, I'm totally downloading that, as it replaces the standard Vault suit, and it can be improved with ballistic sweep and everything that I already had on that character. So I just did it, and I was like, wait a second, if I can make a Kerrigan, why shouldn't I make a Jim Raynor? Or maybe an Arcturus Manx. Actually, the Arcturus Manx, I also have this build, is actually really fun, and it absolutely fits the situation here in the Wasteland. Because let's face it, Arcturus Manx is the guy who manipulates everyone. This really ambitious, charismatic figure that knows it all, and so on and so forth, and you can absolutely make something like this. So, I do have all those three builds, but first things first, we will start with the Jim Raynor build. So, for the Jim Raynor build, we are going to use power armor, and heavy weapons, and demolition expert, in order to provide ourselves with a secondary option for doing damage. Now, be aware that if you want, you can totally switch heavy gunner for commando if you think that Jim is actually using rifles or automatic rifles. I've always been seeing these huge amounts of ammunition that are in this rifle, and I always thought it looks more like a machine gun than anything. Like those big ones, and not the ones that are covered by the commando perk, like the automatic assault rifles and so on and so forth. It's up to you to decide which one of those options looks more canon, either the heavy gunner or the commando. This build will allow you to do that, and for the people who are saying that, so why would I choose heavy gunner, especially if I play on survival, because there isn't a heavy gun available in the game, and in the early game I mean, and come on, those things are super hyper expensive, and I can tell you, just relax, it will be okay. I will give you a small rundown of my abilities. It's on level 39. So on level 39, actually, why not leave the abilities for later? I'm just going to show you the ammo first. So on level 39, I have been buying and selling stuff like crazy. I have a ton of 5mm, I have a ton of flamer fuel, and I have a ton of fusion cores. I have never cheated anything, I bought everything, and of course there are the mini nukes and the missiles and the railway spikes. So there is one weapon in the early game that has unlimited ammo and counts towards the heavy weapons. And you can get it relatively early if you just use some foresight. It is called the junk jet. Now, while it takes a while to get used to it because it has this lob when you shoot something, pretty much like the broadsider. If you know what the broadsider is, it's the cannon. So you really need to get used to it, but it has unlimited ammo because junk is all over the world. You can fill it up with all kinds of junk. I really enjoy filling it up with tin cans and aluminum cans and something and so on and so forth because these are like so easy to find, and there are also like really cost effective because their weight is like 0.1 and you can stock up on hundreds easily, and this pretty much lets you have unlimited ammunition. And come on, the junk jet has most of its mods apart from the last one that adds electric damage for free. You don't even need gun nut, even though we're going to use gun nut now. I can absolutely tell you we are going to use gun nut. So if you're wondering how can you get the junk jet very early, I can show you what to do on the map. So I always start my survival games like this because I play exclusively on survival. I always start my games like this. I go down to the red rocket truck stop, I go underneath it, I grab the power core, fusion core, okay? I grab the fusion core, I kill everything, I get dog meat, and I follow the bank until I get to this first raider camp. I kill it. Then I go up, I get the second small raider camp, the shack, and then I find the vertibird that's here between the robotics disposal ground and satellite station Olivia. Because there you can have, depending on your level really, because technically I usually like to play till about level 4 or 5 in Sanctuary, just building up stuff. And before someone starts saying that's cheating, no it's not, because you need to do it anyway once the one Preston Garvey and the others show up there, and quite honestly I'd rather just speak to Sturgis like over and over and over and over and over very quickly, rather than just go to Sturgis, do that, go to Sturgis, do that, go to Preston, do that, go to Sturgis, do that, and so on and so forth. It just, I don't like this, so I build some and always start the game at around level 4 or 5 or something. And but I'm straying a little bit from the point. If you have a higher level, this is actually better because this power armor here can spawn with more items on it. Like I once had an almost complete set of power armor here. It was like missing only the right leg and something like this. And I can tell you this power armor is actually better than the one that's here in the Museum of Freedom, because this power armor starts with full health. And this power armor starts with 25 points in each. Oh, actually, one of the hands and one of the legs are almost destroyed. The other ones have 25, and well, pretty much it's 50% of the armor strength. So armor hit points. I should say armor hit points. So from here, I usually go down. I open the ticket excavations because I have to follow the road. I usually get here around the Bedford station and keep following this nice railroad as you see it. I avoid pretty much all of the stuff that you see here. You will not be able to avoid Grey Garden unless you give it a wide berth, but by following the railroad you will find very few enemies. There is like only one raider who's mourning his girlfriend in a graveyard and he's kneeling, and you totally have time to kill it before he even gets up, even on survival. Then you keep on going here. Around Oberland Station you need to take a turn to the east and then follow the bank. Get to the outskirts of Diamond City. You will want to find a way to get to Diamond City directly, either through this way or through this way. Quite honestly, there is a big fight here between... actually, I'll make it simple for you. Start listening for the big battle sounds. So there should be a battle there between super mutants and Diamond City guards. This is the battle you need to head towards. Your power armor will be more than enough to protect you from all kinds of damage. And well, you might need to use a stim pack or two, even if the healing is bullshit on survival. You can wait till one or two of the Diamond City guards die, or even help them a bit. It's up to you to decide. It's all about how much ammo you have at that point. So you get to here, you strip one of those guards of their armor, and just keep going down to Diamond City. I always pick Piper first, because Piper is my ticket to pretty much everything in the early game. I want to grab her maximum affinity as well, because it's really good. It allows you to get all kinds of cool stuff. Mainly more experience, of course, but come on, who doesn't want more experience? You can get all kinds of double experience for new locations, plus double experience on charisma checks, so there is nothing bad about it. I absolutely love it. So I usually grab Piper here, get Dogmeat back to Sanctuary, and just keep going, following this road up into Cambridge. Piper is more than fit to get you through all those things. And if you've been saving your power core some, you won't run of juice until you get to the Cambridge police station. And once you get to the Cambridge police station, your game is pretty much gone off to the right foot, because here you'll meet Paladin Dance. There is a point where you can perch and not take damage from ghouls. Allow Piper to kill some, probably shoot a couple of ghouls just for funsies, and then talk to Paladin Dance, do his quest for Arc Jet, and in the Arc Jet systems you will find your Junk Jet. And this is the weapon that counts towards the Heavy Gunner tree, like it's the same as the broadside or the minigun and so on and so forth. And then you're pretty much set to start the game. You will have a good ally here, plus quests from Halen and Reese, which you can use to grab some more experience. You're off to a great start. So for this build, I think this is the best way to start. You're absolutely free to start the game normally. I'm not saying that you should absolutely do that. You can start your game normally. You can use all kinds of normal weapons like machine guns and sniper rifles and all this good jazz. Because come on, let's face it, the enemies in the early levels are not that difficult to deal with, and if you have decent armor, which you will thanks to the power armor, you're pretty much safe and sound. It has to be said that for this entire playthrough I'm at level 39 now, and I died like five or six times, and probably half of those were through my own stupidity, because I was still testing stuff. Like, I used the Fat Man preemptively in the Kellogg fight and pretty much blew myself with it. Or once I was playing with Kate and made the mistake of giving her a couple of frag grenades because I needed some space, and thought what's the easiest and fastest way to give her some stuff and reduce weight, and I just gave her a bunch of frag grenades, which she readily used under my feet and blew me up. Stuff like this. I think I only have one or two major deaths, and one of those was to poison by a red widow buck or something like this, because come on, poison is extremely overpowered in this game, and you die in no time, especially on survival from it, because you just cannot regen as fast as the poison kills you. Especially if that's a big poison and you get poisoned a couple of times, because I still think that if you get poisoned a couple of times it stacks and you see just your health ticking down, and you can do absolutely nothing because, well, you're on survival. Good luck. So anyway, as I said, I died very little with this build, and most of it was through testing, my own mistakes and my own stupidity, and a couple of that's through enemies, but one can live with that. So I have been rambling a lot about what the build is. So here's when I'm going to switch to a different part of the video, which has where I made a nice Excel file, turned it to a PDF, and in this file it's pretty easy to see what can you get on which level, and who knows, I might actually upload it somewhere so that people who are interested can actually download it and print it out. It's like one page. You can fit it in one A4 page. You can simply print it out at work or at home or something like this and just follow it, should you wish to play this build. So I'll see you just in a second when we switch to the other part of the video.